So that Andrew Tate has now been kicked off YouTube to add to the... He's basically got the royal flush now, hasn't he? The royal flush. You've been kicked off every social media platform. That's... You know what? That's not a good thing that's happened. It can be understood. But it's not a good thing that's happened. Because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like that guy's a pimp. A dangerous man. And I'd like to see him run his mouth forever. I'd like to see it where it's like, yeah, put him out front, and it's a matter of he's one great big Judas goat. One great big Judas goat. You follow him all the way to fucking hell. Take his bad advice. Join his cult. Works for him, won't work for you. I think he's wrong, and I think he probably should be in jail, or he's likely cruising this side of getting murdered off someone. To accuse him of misogyny and to kick him off all the social media platforms based on things he said, it's like, oh. So now you get it where all the free speech lot all come saying they've kicked him off for no reason, and they've started to pull up clips of he said a lot online, so they started pulling up certain things he said, true or untrue, so this is why they've banned him, they're frightened of him. And it's like, Judas go, trouble, the guy's trouble. It's like you might put yourself in a position of defending someone whose character is utterly indefensible in the name of free speech, and then that's a matter of, okay, stand by your principles, but look who you're defending. I don't think it's a good thing at all that he's been kicked off the social media platforms. Why? Because he's actually gaining sympathy from people. He's now the victim pimp. The victim pimp. He's now hard done by. I've been kicked off for speaking the truth. Big mistake. But at the same time, right, something else has to be understood. That's why I'm making a video about it. It's an interesting thing to think about. At the same time, there are those out in the world, right, who want this guy in jail or want this guy dead. The appropriate tools to go after him would be the police. If you're in the States, the appropriate body to go after him would be the FBI. But he's in Romania and people can't get to him. It's like there are those who would accuse him of high crimes in a few different places, and they can't get to him. So what are the available weapons? What tools are available? Well, you knock up hope, not hate, with a story about him. He ticks all their boxes for a hate speaker. Soon as it hits that network, it seems like it hits like Nick Clegg. It's like they've got Facebook's email address, and then that means you get kicked off Facebook and Instagram, and then an email goes from Facebook to Google, and that's you cancelled. But it always starts, it really does always start when someone puts an article in The Guardian about you, and hope not hate get their hands on you. But the thing is with it, it's like, if they know half of what I've been told about this fellow, when they're asked to justify their position against him, the dossier of things that they've accumulated, of tales, of research they've done, will say, this guy's a pimp who grooms girls and puts them on the internet selling webcam services. Is this the kind of thing that you support? You wonder where he got his money from, and it'd be a matter of, well, personally, I think he's one of those Bitcoin guys. They buy a chunk of Bitcoin and then endlessly talk about Bitcoin for a year or two, and suddenly everyone's talking about Bitcoin, and they've all bought some, and they're all saying, Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. So he's one of these guys who's worked that scam. But he's also a guy who makes his money off webcamming. That's his primary business. That's what he was always talking about. It's like, you look at his old product, and he's teaching guys about pimping, and then he's not talking about any of the sort of drawbacks of that kind of occupation, by way of, you know, the kind of people that you're likely to entangle with because you're not a pimp. He's a pimp. He's someone who can turn nasty on a woman and give her a slap. Sure, who's boss, but you might not be that, and you might take his advice, and you might find his quality of woman, and his quality of woman be far, far more than you can deal with because you're not a pimp. This is why pimp school is dangerous. Pimp school is bad. Whenever pimp school turns up on the internet, usually you've got good old me saying, this stuff might work for him, but it's not going to work for you. This is bad advice that's going to get you in trouble. But hey, you know, I had a co-op game, right, of StarCraft 2 the other day in public random game of co-op StarCraft 2, and the guy who I was playing with filled my screen with text. I don't believe it. I never thought it would happen to me. Man, I'm in love. And it's like, mate, you're selling a scam. You're selling membership of a cult. And that's what he was. He was either he joined a cult and thought it was real, or he was actually spamming me while I was playing StarCraft 2 to get me to join this cult that gives loads of great man advice and dating advice. And he'd be like, hey, you could, I found happiness. I've got a woman now. They never made a fuss of me before, but now all of a sudden I can. And it's like, the guy's giving me like an Axe advertisement. I'm there, building SCVs, and screens going, and I'm like, ha, kids. And just continued game, kicked ass. But it's like someone tried to like sell me the benefits of one of these men's learn about pimping circles while I was playing StarCraft 2. It's like these fucking guys know nothing. It's like I know that these guys know nothing. The guys who are Tate's followers, they don't know one side of a woman from the other. They've not been nowhere near. They don't get it, and it's a matter of bitches. You've never seen that picture. There's an old Twitter picture, isn't there, of like the profile picture of like a 9-year-old, and the 9-year-old's like, smash that, rip the back out of that. What? They're fucking clueless. And so if you get led down the garden path by him or the likes of, you know, Roosh. It's like that circle, you know, that circle of the old manosphere, where this new, more radical, it's like better pimps have come along. It's like they were, that little crew of them who were, you know, the circle of Roosh V. It's like there's one of their following who ended up in like the national papers. He opened fire on a handgun on his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend as they were driving away, and got himself like super prison for it. Got himself like 10 years. Like, who's this guy? Oh, he was one of Roosh's guys. He's one of these fellas who makes friends with the pickup artist guys on YouTube, and then sort of put it all into play, and then plays the game and gets used. And he's very angry about it, and then sets about trying to murder. It's like, you're already fucked up. You don't know yourself. you don't know what you're looking for. You're thinking, nice warm place to put it will be the answer to all my problems, when it be a matter of, no, it'll be the start of more problems when you bite off more than you can chew, because you make yourself vulnerable to predators by playing predator games. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, thinking that you're the only player in the room. Incredible. Seen it play out now thousands of times in my life, as to where it's a matter of, yeah, there's something to this game, isn't there? So, in conclusion, if you want to read what's happening to Andrew Tate, his true enemies have basically used the available tools to try and punish him and make his life more uncomfortable. It's not about things he said. It's like there are those after him for criminal activity. And the tools they've got available at this time is to go after him on the internet and try and make his life worse and face him with a challenge, so he starts to fuck up more. Because the tools they'd really like to use against him aren't for nicking someone in Romania.